being born in 1952, there were racial tones. I dealt with the bias all my life, you know.
And just growing up, period, you know, in Kalamazoo, it was a little racial.
The founding of the Kalamazoo Boxing Academy came on the heels of a historic change in Kalamazoo, the desegregation of schools. Kalamazoo public schools weren't segregated by law, but in 1968, a study revealed that 90% of black children attended just 5 of Kalamazoo's 29 elementary schools. In 1971, the city began to redraw school district lines in order to balance the racial divide. The young KBA boxers experienced these changes firsthand.
They didn't want black kids to be there, so they used to have a lot of fights, you know, on the way home from school. They got billy clubs and chains and all this, and we just got our hands, and I was like, oh, that can't get hurt. They didn't want us at that school at that time.
The Kalamazoo Boxing Academy hosted a racially diverse group of fighters and trainers. It was an oasis amid the tensions of the time.
With my coach, Eddie Bridges, I felt no bias whatsoever. Being born in the 50s, there was any type of bias or prejudice, I would have definitely known about it.
The boxers came from all over, white guys, black guys, Hispanic guys. It was just a mix, and it was kind of neat because we were all up there training together, sweating, and blood and tears, and cheering for each other.
Well, we sparred together, we showered together, we worked together. We all had a common goal.
But when you're in the ring with somebody, you beat those boundaries down. Race, whatever, you know, class, whatever, all that falls away. After you spend 3 rounds in the ring or more with somebody, you're both really happy that you're still alive and you got through it.
I mean, we got along with everybody. It was more enjoying the excitement of being where we were at. So it wasn't racist. Everybody was accepting us as who we are and what we were doing and trying to make the community better. The boxing helped bring us together.
Any racial tensions or anything that they were seemed to come from the general public up in the balcony at the Pacific Auditorium.
The judges and officials, as far as my experience, I thought everything was fair. The most bias was in the crowd, and it was notable, and it was audible. The black guy hit the white guy, woo, all the black people, you know, real loud, because them tournaments, 2,000, 5,000 people. The white guy hit the black guy, all the white people, you know, it was like that.
And you go into the arenas and everybody be hollering different words and, you know, saying stuff, you know, but the thing of this, you had to block it out and go ahead and compete. You know, the fellas like, man, don't lose no white boy, we're going to dog you out. You know what I'm saying? But if he's a better fighter, you ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I hope I can, you know. My first fight was against a white guy, you know. And that first punch, it was like, I can hear Eddie over there. Do what I taught you, what I tell you. You listen to me? Everything I tell you is going to be truth and it's going to be right.
It was interesting for me personally because other than the military, I grew up in Michigan Center, Michigan. My only experience with black people was boxing. And then in the military, I went to Oliver Lewis's house and I walked into his garage and you're going to think I'm a nut. But I'm like, wow, they've got rakes and shovels just like we do. You know, here I'm 20 years old when this happens to me, right? And so I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it because it's so stupid, but it's reality. I started seeing injustices. Restaurants would treat us differently. We'd go into stores and people would, you know, be checking us out. That's when I first became aware, if you will, of what was really happening or what the other side of the story.
Eddie would go to the bar or we'd go to a motel. It still has the black and white thing. If he wanted a cab, he could get a cab. And the cab driver said, what you doing with that? You know, what you doing with that? You know, well, you can ride, he can't ride. But Eddie would still stick his head up. He stood up for me a lot of times when I would have just gave up.
It brought us all together no matter what color your skin was, where you came from. My oldest son, who's now 48, and he boxed, as I told you before, with us, and came to me the other day and thanked us for bringing him up the right way, being with these kids all the time. Sure, we were mentors and we helped them, That meant a lot to us.
Eddie Bridges really was my, really helped me out a lot. He was like just made me glorify just to call his name because he was such a beautiful person. And to be a white man, and that really got me. It was just about boxing and you. You got a person you are, you know what I'm saying? He really cared about me.